Hello there. Hello there. I got a little bit of pins today. I got a bunch of people excited for my Dominican flag. I got one girl who reacted my Jamaican pin. Anyway. You are someone, I'm someone else. I've got the cool porno stash today. I'm looking like a porn star. I'm ready to tell you my great, fantastic plan. It's not pornos, but I wish it was. Damn, is it going to be good. Okay. So what I'm going to tell you is I got 2 TV show ideas. Now I need a bunch of capitals to come in and give me a bunch of capital, or at least your money, and have equity in the business in order for this whole show to work out. Now it's probably not going to be profitable, so I'm not going to tell anybody to donate money to it. But you guys really want to see this idea? It would be amazing. First show I have is this it's not going to be a reality show. It's just going to be like what do you call it? An acting show, basically, where one guy, they both go in. Let me think. You have to relive the year, basically. So all these terrible things happen throughout the year, and then he tries to avoid the terrible things that happened again, but of course it happens all over again. It's terrible. And they don't. At the end of the show, you have to. At the end of the show, basically, the guy sort of, and this is actually a show that exists. It was an Australian show, but I want to make an American version of the show, make it more realistic to the country that I live in, and the time frame's a bit outdated from that show. They didn't even have cell phones in that show. That's how old that show is. But I want to get that same aesthetic or the same kind of premise, except I'm going to add a little bit different. I'm going to have the villain character and the hero character somehow have, let's say there's a guy, right? He's staying on a platform. And the hero and the villain are villain's trying to kill him, and the hero's trying to save him. And, the one year, okay, he just goes and he gets, paint on his face. He gets, a pie in his face. He gets hit by a baseball bat or whatever. Second year, I don't know, he gets hit by a basketball instead, right? But the hero and the villain are underneath the platform of the school, I guess. And, there's trapdoors and stuff. I just think it would be very cool that he doesn't know that he's being chased by an evil villain, basically, the guy on the ceiling. Or I guess it would be above the basement. He doesn't know that he's being tracked down by a villain, and he doesn't realize there's a hero trying to save him. I want that to premise, except I want to go back in time throughout the year. So, every episode will go the first year and then the second year. So, as you get by the episodes, you get to see the terrible events in the first day of that first year, and then the second day of that second year, the first day of the second year, basically. So it's time loop, basically. Instead of reliving a day multiple times over and over again, how about a whole year? Which is pretty arbitrary, but it has been done before in one TV show, and it was one of my favorite shows, but I'm going to make it even more complicated than it needs to be, because that's the way I am. I'm so freaking creative. Anyway, that's besides the point. Me, pornographic mustache man. Okay, what's next, Mr. Porno? So, Mr. Cop, porno, whatever guy, right? So, next thing I'm going to say, right? I have another show. Let's say there's 40 contestants, right? There's about 4 teams of 10, say. And these 4 teams of 10, there's so many different challenges. But I have a little bit of a premise. I got 2 goals I want to achieve. I'm not going to tell them until the end of the show. But if I ever get funding for this show, this is my dream, by the way, to have 40 people compete around at least the world or the country or whatever, in a small local area. The first challenge obviously be a 3-mile run, because why the heck not? I want it to be physical, I want it to be mental, I want it to be emotional. I want to crush the human soul, and I want to actually prove to me. There's 2 things I really want to prove. These are not my goals, but these are the things I want to prove in the show. That democracy doesn't work, and that human nature is inherently flawed and sometimes even greedy and bad. And if I can prove that in that show, and I could get the world to be convinced of that, because that's what my YouTube channel basically is I read books, and I realize that human nature is inherently very, very flawed. And I want to get that message, at least if I don't want to get the hate humans, climate change, climate change skeptic, but or climate change, evil person, hates climate change, somebody who hates climate change. I don't remember. A climate change freak, right? I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be even more psychological, in that sense. Sure, do humans somewhat destroy the environment? Yeah, but if you look at the what is it, the waste curve in developed countries, we had to make less waste than China. And again, we basically put capital in China that makes our stuff. So you could argue that it is technically our fault, but regardless, China is the one that produces the most waste. So, anyways, besides the point, I should not be talking about climate change, anti-climate change people for right now. Although I do believe in climate change, it is a real threat. It could definitely exist, but it's not going to wipe out all life. It's just going to wipe out humans because we suck, and that's kind of the point of the show. Not really, but yeah. Basically, there's going to be 4 teams of 10, and in these 4 teams of 10. So let's say you lose a member, you have to do a completely different challenge. Like you have 10 members still in your team, you gotta do the 3-mile run all over again. Next episode. Now again, I don't know how I'm gonna score this, because again, only one team is gonna have one person eliminated every episode. So it'll probably be like 39 episodes out of the 40 people. Maybe there'll be like a filler episode that I will try to do in the middle of the season where it's like nobody gets eliminated. That would be kind of fun. So yeah. I think that would be kind of cool. But here's the catch, right? You could have more than 10 people on your team. If you win multiple challenges, you could have more than 10 people. And the challenges get more and more, shall I say, complicated if you start winning the game in your team anyway. And you get to be more and more frustrated. So what is it? I think 15 players or 17 players, you get to chase down a scammer or something, which is actually one of my goals, is to chase down scammers. At 17 people a team or whatever. I don't know what the highest thing per team is. But if it's pretty obvious that the teams are more evenly matched, and I want like, there's going to be multiple language skills, there's going to be hacking skills, there's going to be so many different challenges, and I want the 40 people to learn something, even if it's on the first episode. Although I don't know. I feel like with the first episode, it's going to be a 3-mile run, and then whoever gets eliminated gets eliminated. But then the next episode, there's going to be 2 more challenges, because there'll be a team of 11 and there'll be a team of... Because, right, as you win, you get to take a member from the losing team. That's the way it works. So, there are 4 teams of 10, and as you start, right, so these 4 teams of 10, basically... what is it? The 4 teams of 10. The first team gets the losing teams, the 4th place team's member. They also lose 2 members. They lose 2 members on the bottom team. Now, all teams it's the 3 teams get to vote for this person to go in the first team. So the first team doesn't get a choice to get that member in that team. So they have 11 people now. But the bottom 2 teams, the 3rd place team and the 4th place team, get to vote. Well, actually, it shouldn't only... Because I don't really want the teams to interact with each other, so maybe I shouldn't do that. But, maybe it's to just be the bottom team. So, like, the bottom team will basically decide, okay, we will pick these 2 people to go for the elimination round or whatever, and then one guy will compete, and whoever wins, well, they get to go to the winning team, and whoever loses, although I do like the more of the voting aspect of the first thing I thought of. But anyway, I would love to get 40 people involved to get this show on board. If I can do that, if I could get that, and I would give them like a grand prize. Whoever wins out of the 40 people, the first, because again, it's going to be like 40 episodes, right? Because 40 people, 40 episodes, it's going to be 39 episodes, but we're going to add like a filler episode where they have a bonus prize, so nobody gets eliminated in the episode. Maybe like through the halfway point when there's 20 people. At the end of the show, I will give them, I don't know, like 40 grand or whatever. No, I won't give them that much. But, you know what I mean? Like, it will be a grand prize or something. I want to reward someone for going through all that hardship that I gave all these random challenges out. Because that's what I feel like with the Amazing Race. Like, you don't want to do half the challenges, so I would do that, but even more bigger and more spectacular, because you have to work with people you don't even know. I want there to be language challenges. I want there to be... It's going to be so psychological. It's going to be more... It's not like the Amazing Race at all, really, because there's a lot more technical to this. There's a lot a lot more modern stuff with the hacking on your cell phone, and with the bigger challenges. With the smaller challenges, there's like a team of 3 people. I'm not going to do a hacking challenge, you know what I mean? But if we can get like 2 or 3 hackers in the show, and we get a big team, well, guess what? We're going to do well in the hacking challenge, I can imagine. So, that being said, that's what I want. I have these arbitrary goals I want to achieve in the show. I believe the best way to do it is to make this beautiful show that I would love, is one of my dreams, and also achieve other goals throughout with this show, which is going to be kind of strange. But if I can do that, I don't think I would ever get the views or the demand for it. But if I could create somehow a demand for that show, I would totally do it. The problem is the economy they don't care about that demand for that show. There's already The Amazing Race. There's already so many other great shows, probably. And my whole plan with switching up the members, the teams, is probably going to confuse the heck out of everyone, and they probably would hate it. But I would love to see what happened mathematically. What would happen? Would it just be all outsider, or do you think the teams would even out eventually? I don't know. That's why it's never been done before. It's only been done, once I saw that kind of in a one show, but it's only 15 people. It wasn't very boring. It wasn't even people. It was cartoons. It wasn't even real people, right? So that's the problem. I want real people this time. 40 people. I want it to be spectacular. I don't know. Maybe I'm entirely wrong on it. Maybe I just have I have a dream, but I don't want my dream to turn into a nightmare if I start to achieve it. So I will never achieve my dreams, so I will be a failure. But that's okay, because I knew that it was without the rounds of reality. Dreams that you try to achieve at a more spectacular level, it becomes nightmares. Think about people who major in the liberal arts, right? If I did the same thing, right? I majored in liberal arts, or I made this TV show, spent thousands of dollars because it sounds so ridiculous, I would be a failure. It'd be a nightmare. It wouldn't be a dream. Your dream became a nightmare. So that's the thing. Dreams are unachievable, and you try to really achieve them, become nightmares. Just like a college degree. Same exact idea with this show. Anyway, you are someone, I am someone else. Not growing a nice porn stash. Signing out, talking about my 2 TV show ideas. Hopefully anybody's interested. I'm the devil. You can trust me. Goodbye.